Yes, everybody, welcome back to Talking Wolves. We've got a brand new video here for you today, and it's a little bit of an update video, a little bit of a transfer video, a little bit of a review of the transfer window, because we have had an exclusive article from John Percy at the Telegraph today, and we've got a little bit of tidying up to do in regards to some of the moves that have happened over the last 24 to 48 hours as well. So, as always, be sure to hit the like button down below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. You may see me start to sweat throughout this video because it is a beautiful day here in Wolverhampton today. But we'll start with the biggest piece of news, which is Daniel Podence. He's officially left Wolves on loan to join his former club, Olympiacos in Greece. Broke sort of out of the blue yesterday by journalists in Greece, quickly followed up by Fabrizio Romano. Olympiacos, were hoping to finalise their squad for the Europa League, and they managed to bring in Daniel Podence alongside free agent Stevan Jovetic as well. Podence, obviously no secret that he was looking to leave Wolves. There were rumours towards the end of the window that clubs in Qatar were looking at him. There was even another rumour yesterday afternoon that Al Ettifaq in Saudi Arabia were going to be making a decision today on whether to move for Daniel Podence. But it is his former club Olympiacos that he's gone to. Now, before yesterday, Daniel Podence's contract at Wolves was up until the end at the end of the season. But for this move, he has signed a brand new contract at Wolves until the end of 2020, the 24-25 season, with Wolves having the option of an additional year. It was initially reported that there was no option to buy, but in Greece they seem to think it was a 1.5 million euro loan fee with a 5 million euro option to buy at the end of the season, which seems, if you can get the best out of Daniel Podence, which we unfortunately at Wolves didn't see often enough, but if he can produce his best football again whilst he's in Greece, that sounds like it would be a bargain for Olympiacos. So Matt Hobbs put out a statement and says Podence in the talks was extremely helpful with the club. It was said that there was Premier League interest in him as well, but it just sounded like he knew that interest from Olympiacos was going to come, and eventually the deal has got over the line. So Daniel Podence to Olympiacos, done deal. We knew that was going to happen. He's off the wage bill for now, and we'll wait to see what happens over the next 12 months or so with him. Like I was saying earlier, there has been an exclusive article by John Percy today. Some really good snippets of information in there as well. I'll flag it up on the screen now. As you can see, the headline: Lopategy agreed Wolves payoff reduction on 8 million salary as part of the 145 million summer cut. So as we know, Wolves were in, supposedly in financial trouble, and this article sort of shows how Wolves managed to get themselves out of it by the end of the transfer window. So the full extent of Wolves' hectic summer: Lopategy was on 8 million a year. He made an honourable gesture to reduce his settlement, obviously when he parted company with the club. Matheus Nunes, who we'll look at a little bit more as well, was fined 2 weeks' wages for refusing to train. They were also discussed in negotiations with Manchester City. Wolves avoided further sales of key players, including Pedro Neto, Jose Sarr and Ryan Aïnouri, and the player exodus will help fund the striker search in January. So, the good thing is now, of course, after the loss of Lopategy, it says that Wolves are now in a far better financial position, and there is a mood of positivity under Gary O'Neill, which is obviously great news. We're still waiting to see that come across on the pitch, but behind the scenes, if there is a good morale and good mood, that obviously does bode well. O'Neill believes the squad are capable of performing to a consistently high level, which we know the players that we've got a quality. We just need to see that on a much more consistent level as well, and the view is shared internally by the Wolves hierarchy as well. Let's have a look. The Wolves pursued the Basque coach, which was Lopategy, for over 6 years, and the £8 million a year salary reflected how important they viewed his appointment. Talks to rip up his contract were amicable, with both parties wanting a quick resolution. It can be revealed that Lopategy agreed a settlement of less than a year's money with 2 years left on his deal. Lopategy is still based in and around Wolverhampton. I know he's got a house in Tetnall, but he has been linked and he has been seen in and around parts of Wolverhampton, but he has been linked today with a move possibly to Villarreal, so we'll have to wait and see how quickly he does jump back into football as well. We've got a list now, obviously, of the outs. We know, obviously, the players that Wolves lost. The big ones: Ruben Neves for £47 million, Matheus Nunes for £53 million, Nathan Collins for 23 as well. Overall, Wolves making in and around £146 million worth of sales this summer. So Wolves, after they rejected their opening £47 million bid for Matheus Nunes, he reacted badly. It's alleged that he took his boots home from Compton and refused to train. As he declined to turn up, Wolves chairman Jeff Shee dug in his heels. Negotiations restarted. Wolves agreed a revised deal of £53 million. A fine of 2 weeks' wages was factored into the final agreement. So I do wonder if City sort of put that on top of what they were going to pay I don't know. I don't know how that worked. And then obviously Matt Hobbs struck a separate deal for Tommy Doyle as well on an initial loan. He's regarded as a quality replacement for his ability on the ball and set pieces. So we'll wait and see what Tommy Doyle can bring when he's back. Hopefully we see him in action just after the international break as well. Che Adams and Boulay Diarra, who we'll talk about a little bit more in a minute, were discussed on the last day of the transfer window, but ultimately it was agreed that the club would not panic and wait until January, hopefully, to sign a striker. While there will not be multi-millions to spend in the winter window, Wolves would rather focus on adding a forward who has been properly researched and analysed. So, of course, these next few months are big for Fabio Silva and Sasha Kalajdzic. They really need to find their form. Fabio's been given the nod quite often already, but it wouldn't surprise me to see Sasha get a chance from the start soon as well. And we could see the summer transfer window, the players in Wolves spending altogether around just under £80 million with Bellegarde, Bueno, Gonzalez, Boubacar Cunha. You know what? I like some of the values of these transfers are really good, and I think they could really pay off for Wolves in the future as well. Of course, Bellegarde, I spoke about him on the last transfer video when we did a sort of an overview. Wolves pretty much admitted he was a long-term target. He's someone that the club had been looking at since 2018, 2019 as well. So these are the interesting ones in regards to player sales. We know about Max Kilman. It was pretty heavily reported that Wolves had rejected approaches from Napoli. Apparently Arsenal had inquired about Pedro Neto, who they have been linked with before. Nottingham Forest, as we know as well, were targeting Jose Sarr for a lot of the summer. We're still waiting for confirmation on a new contract for him, which was reported before the end of the window. RB Leipzig reportedly made an offer for Hugo Bueno, unsure whether that was a loan or a permanent deal, and obviously the fee. Nice wanted Ait Nouri, which was also reported, and it's understood that Matheus Cunha also had interest from clubs abroad. Now, although Wolves made that permanent this summer, he would still be available to go out if Wolves wanted to make a quick profit on him, but obviously that's not the case, and I think he's done quite well so far this season. We just need to see those assists and goals out of him as well. In the end, 9 players were loaned out, 8 players sold at a cost of over £140 million. Wolves managed to move João Moutinho, Diego Costa off the wage bill, and it said that both players were on salaries of more than £100,000 a week. I find that hard to believe, especially the Diego Costa one, but I suppose maybe with an appearance fee on top of that, maybe a win bonus, it could be close to that. But yeah, it's massive, massive wages, and I don't think things like that are appreciated enough. And obviously Diego Costa has now moved to Botafogo, I believe, to join with Bruno Lage again. João Moutinho has moved to Braga. So obviously we do wish those all the best as well. But yeah, it's some nice positive things. That the fact that, you know, Wolves, there is a good morale behind the scenes. I know it wasn't a great performance and it was a loss against Crystal Palace on Sunday, but I don't know, there's still part of me that is hopeful about this current setup and really hope that things can kick on. Of course, I might be completely wrong. It's a huge period after the international break for Wolves. I think this international break is crucial for Gary O'Neill, and not just the immediate games, but his long-term future as a Wolves coach, because this is what could really shape how his Wolves career goes. I think we've got Liverpool coming up, Luton, Manchester City, Aston Villa. You know, there's games there, tough games, but we need to see and hope that Gary O'Neill can get some points out of those as well. We have got a few other pieces of news. I was talking about the Boulay Diarra situation earlier. I spoke a little bit about him on Saturday's video as well, and we spoke a little bit about him on the podcast. He currently plays for the Italian Serie A club Salernitana, and they kicked off basically. He really wanted to move to the Premier League and join Wolves. It's reported that Wolves are putting a loan offer with an option or obligation to buy, which was rejected. mainly because they didn't have time to get in a replacement. Now, he kicked off. He was left out of their squad over the weekend. It's reported that he may even be fined around 15% of his monthly wage, which turns out to be about €30,000. And this is what their director of football had to say about the situation over the weekend.
Nothing against an important historic Premier League club. Nothing against his fans, but to the manager of Wolverhampton, I say, disrespectful behavior, disrespectful offer, me, my president, and all Salernitanas club, don't forget. I repeat, nothing against an important, historic Premier League club, nothing against his fans.
So clearly Salernitana are not happy with the situation. It will obviously remains to be seen if they do go back in for him at the weekend in January. Sorry, scored 17 goals in all competitions last season, 16 of those in the league as well. A new coach is coming for Wolves as well. They've announced the appointment of Ian Burchnell. He's coming as a first-team coach to support Gary O'Neill. He's joined from Anderlecht. He was the assistant head coach there. And also he's been manager of Notts County over the last few years as well. So I think that's a really good appointment. Lots of experience from Ian Burchnell as well. And we did see a player leave, I believe, on a permanent deal. It was Dylan Shikluna, who is a Australian, a Maltese player. Obviously a big one for me because my family are all Maltese. So this story made a lot of news last year when he was sort of found out that he was eligible to play for Malta. So he played at youth level for both Malta and Australia. But he's moved to Australia on a permanent basis. He's joined Western Sydney Wanderers on a one-year deal. And, you know, he played quite a little bit for the Wolves 21s last year as well. So this is a big move for him, playing first-team football for a good team in Western Sydney Wanderers. So I do wish him all the very best. But guys, do let me know your thoughts on today's video and all the news that we've seen today. If there are any other updates, of course, I'll keep you guys in the loop. Be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Enjoy the rest of the week and the weather here in England. And I'll catch you all very, very soon.